Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Donovan. I just wanted to go through and explain a story that I have about. I'm an accountant, and I've been doing this kind of work for I don't know, close to 30 years now. Um, and a friend of mine told me about this story, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was an excellent story. I and he doesn't even do this kind of work. So when I go into it, you'll understand more and more. He doesn't do this kind of work at all, and he made an exception to help her. Actually, she owed the IRS a lot of money, and her and her husband divorced. She had children, and I don't remember how many, but she had children at home. IRS was garnishing her wages, her bank accounts. Couldn't get a refund, even though she needed the refund like really bad. Things were pretty bad financially. She was in bad health, and she came into my friend's office, and he's since retired. And this story is about 8 years old, but I've never forgotten it. Um, anyway, she comes in, tells him everything, and he just says, "You know what? I'm going to help this woman." A CPA friend of mine, and he does an offer and compromise. And for some of you that don't know offer and compromise, it's basically where let's say you owe 100,000, and you send in all this information. It's a lot of information. So offer and compromise is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And back when he filed it, only like 1 in 10 got any kind of approval on it. So it wasn't a big expectation. Like it is now, you have a much higher. It's like 50%, something like that, they get approved in an offer and compromise. So, but it's where you owe 100,000 and you offer them 20,000, and the IRS wipes it out. And everybody thinks that you owe 20,000, you got to come up with the money that day. No, the IRS has other avenues there to help you get that 20,000 taken care of. And but anyway, how to pay it in payments, that kind of thing. But she goes in there and she gives him everything. And if you can imagine having the IRS harass her, and she's divorced, bad health, can't hardly make it. I can't imagine this. It's such a horrible part of her life, I can imagine. And he went through and he did all this work, and for free. He didn't charge her a dime. Now, to let you guys know, it runs anywhere from $3,500 to $7,000 to do an offer and compromise. So it's not cheap. It is because it's a lot of work for the accountant. And so anyway, she did everything, and he sends it off. And I'm not sure how long it takes. I mean, usually it takes, from what I read, it takes about a month, maybe 2 months, and you get a response. And she got a letter in the mail, and basically said she didn't owe a dime. IRS had forgiven her all of it. And if you can imagine, spend years with the IRS hounding you and trying to get money out of you, taking your refunds, and you're divorced, your health's bad, and you need every dollar you can get your hand on, and they just keep taking it, She can't even have a bank account, can't have nothing because the money just gets taken. So, and then when she got that letter saying it's all forgiven, I mean, if you can imagine, my friend didn't go through it a lot, but I can't imagine her not being in tears. Could you imagine the relief that woman felt? I mean, I've never forgotten it either. He's one of my CPA friends that I absolutely look up to, and I've always tried to live up to his example. And it's pretty tough because he did a lot of stuff for people. He was just that kind of guy, and The opportunities didn't come my way like his, but I questioned myself. Would I have stepped up to do an offer in compromise when only 1 out of 10 get accepted? Back then, and but he went ahead and did the work, took the chance, and he helped this woman. Uh, Unbelievable, unbelievable story. And people don't hear this stuff about us accountants. People don't ever talk about this stuff. I've got my own personal stories where I've stepped up and helped people, and but nothing that great. I mean, nothing. I don't have anything in comparison to that. That poor woman. I can't imagine. I've had clients stressed out, but not like that. It seemed like everything was going wrong. And when my friend told me about that story, it was just absolutely heartbreaking. And then when he told me the ending of it, I was just like, "Whoo!" I mean, you could almost make a movie out of that. That is just a fantastic movie, and people don't see this stuff. And accountants step out a lot of times for you. I've had clients that they stepped up. I mean, I stepped up for them. I didn't charge them a dime, and I've saved them a lot of money, and they couldn't afford it. I mean, if the IRS got their way, there is no way they could afford to pay that. I don't know what they would have done. They both were working, so you can imagine they'd get their wages garnished and everything else, and they really couldn't afford that either. I mean, it was just, I've helped people, but nobody to this level of this woman, because I couldn't think of one thing that was going her way. And it took a CPA that cared and took a 10% chance of resolving this issue for this woman and didn't charge her a dime, nothing, and stepped up for her. So I think you guys out there, you accountants out there, definitely, or finance people, if you have the opportunity to help someone like that, I hope and I really do pray that you do, because the help that you give that person in situations like that is, you don't understand probably the tears of joy from that woman and the relief, have somebody that actually cared probably helped a lot, just to have somebody that actually gave a crap, So I was so happy. And you don't ever hear these stories. I mean, everybody's just like, right now it's in October, everybody's worried about the election, and I'm sick of hearing about the election. I don't care who wins at this point. I just want it to be over, because I've voted, I've done my part, so that's the end of it for me. I just want it to be over. And but these stories, if you're in the position to help someone like that, I hope you do step up. I try to every chance I get. You can't do it on everyone. Everybody knows this. You have to make a certain amount of money because you got to survive too. It wasn't like my friend did these every day. He didn't. I think that was the only offer in compromise he's ever done. I don't think he's ever done one other than for her. And you accountants out there that do them, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved in it. And anyway, I just wanted to share that story. I just love that story. I plan to share some stories from my personal that I've helped, and I hope some of you accountants get into the comments on this and kind of share your stories, or at bare minimum, start a YouTube channel and share this stuff so people can see that we're not just, service, pay me, that kind of thing. It's just not true. We're as human as anybody else, and we want to help people when they're in need. And so just keep that in mind for you guys that are if you're in this kind of shape and you need help, my suggestion is, if you're going to do an offer and compromise, make sure you do it with somebody that's got the credentials to do it. I know a lot of people don't care about credentials because I remember reading a paper that it was like eighth or ninth place that people cared about your credentials, and that's just crazy to me. You should absolutely care about that. So make sure you get with somebody that actually knows what they're doing. If you go on the cheap on this, don't do it. I wouldn't even bother, because the offer and compromise needs to be done in a way that increases your chances of approval. And if you go on the cheap, you're decreasing your chances of approval, because the people that are doing it are probably not degreed accountants. Means they don't have an accounting degree at all, and they're just doing this. And it's just not a good idea. I would much rather spend $3,500 than pay someone $1,500 and have the chances of getting it through be pretty high. So just take that in account. Okay, so increase your chances. Go with somebody that's professional, that does these things and knows. And I really hope it works out for you. I really do, because the IRS, people don't understand it's never owed the IRS, how big a deal that really is. And people need to really take it to heart, but a lot of people don't. So, but anyway, this is my story. I'm Greg Dunovet. I'm a master degree accountant, and I really appreciate you guys watching this, and hopefully you share this story with people that are in the same situation as this woman or similar to it, and that way they'll have hope. You give hope is a big thing, so give somebody hope. And when things are so bad, hope is just something unbelievably positive in their life to have somebody. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the comments, and make sure I do read them. So any of you accountants out there that has similar stories, at a minimum, if you would, just share them on your comments, because people need to read those and see that you guys do. We step up when it's time to step up, and I really hope that that any of you that are in that situation, that you do find somebody that really cares and steps up for you. But like I said, a lot of us accountants, we have that one person that we look up to, and I actually have two, but my friend is, like I said, he's retired. He's about 25 years older than me, but he is. I haven't had any accountant tell me anything, and he did several of these things, because I've heard stories because we lived in a small town at that time, and he was in that small town, and yeah, he did several things. He did a lot of stuff for churches. Didn't charge. I don't know how he survived on some of the the amount of work that he did, but anyway, thank you guys for watching, and please share this story. You don't have to say my name. Don't say any of that. I don't care. It's just mainly, share that story with people that are in a similar situation. Tell them to look for someone to help them. Anyway, you guys take care. Stay safe.